These are the best camera settings for your DJI Action 5 Pro if you want to shoot yourself your next vlog, video, or whatever it may be. So let's get started. So first and foremost, full credit to, I believe her name is Tamara Gabrielle. This is kind of where I got my optimized settings in order for me to shoot effective and efficient DJI Action 5 Pro vlogs. I'm simply just more so repeating what she says, but kind of in my own twist, just because I've had a lot of people before ask what settings I've used because they typically think the quality that I'm using for this Action 5 Pro and my vlogs are really nice, so I thought I'd answer those questions. Oh yeah, I just want to mention too as well, I am in the beautiful area of Newmarket Main Street. This is a really nice area to walk around and stuff like that. But with that being said, let's continue onwards to the video. Okay, first things first, when you're shooting really good quality videos with the DJI Action 5 Pro, you're going to want to instantaneously change it to 10-bit D-Log. You're going to want to do this because in post-production you want to color grade, and that's how you're going to get really nice video quality in order to make some bomb-ass vlogs. So once that is complete specifically, your next step is going to change your resolution. I personally like 4K, 30 frames per second, specifically 16:9. I think it's 4:3. Some people like to do that, but I think the screen's a bit too small. Yeah, it's optimized and good for shorts, but if we're making normal YouTube videos, 16:9 is probably the most optimal and the most efficient in terms of post-production editing. I just think it looks the cleanest. Now, I want to touch a little more on frames per second. I know a lot of people like using 25 frames per second. Totally get that, just considering the fact that when you're in specific areas, you get a little bit of a flash. Hopefully I have an example on the B-roll here, but if that happens, yes, switch it to 25 frames per second. But the vast majority of social media platforms typically use 30 frames per second, so I like to optimize that by using 30 frames per second. So overall, I would choose 30 frames. Next is sort of the specific settings you're going to see on the B-roll right now. I personally like using rock steady because extremely shaky footage isn't clean, and for the viewing experience, I think it's mad inconvenient. So I always put rock steady. Rock steady plus, I don't think it's necessarily. I've tried both versions and I find that rock steady is just good enough. I like having more space around me. I like standard D-warp or just standard. It's a lot better than wide. Wide's a little too curved for my liking, so I think standard's the most optimal for the best sort of viewing experience. If you're on D-Log 10-bit, you should also be on the DJI Action 5 Pro. On the B-roll, you're gonna see everything right now. Click on the Pro and you'll see two different options, white balance and exposure, and let's get into that right now. So when getting into exposure, this is more so full credit to Tamara Gabrielle. I like to put it to minus 0.3. I feel like optimally and for the visual experience, this is the best. In terms of white balance, yes, you can argue you can like raise it or lower it based on if you're inside or outside, but as someone who's always on the move and around, I literally cannot be asked. So my recommendation for everyone, and it's just worked out for me as well, just put it on auto because the white balance is going to change per area, and it's just a lot easier and a lot better during shooting and after in post-production. Now, in terms of the last section on the B-roll you'll see right now, I like to put it, as you can see, -2 and -1. The action camera, this one in itself has an over sharpness to it. So if you kind of lower these settings, then like I said before, for the viewing experience, it's the best. Very quickly now, I'm gonna shoot without the Pro model version, and as you can see, it's like not nearly as nice as if you simply color grade it. I don't think it's nearly as pretty, but you can compare to the clips from before and now, and you'll see the difference for sure. But yeah, this is probably like the most important part in order to make your footage look better than the most action camera footage is utilizing D-Log 10-bit color grading to its full potential, or to your full potential. So essentially, there's like two different ways that you can do it. If you buy any DJI product, unfortunately, you do have to download an app called DJI Mimu. I might make a separate video on that, let's see, but once you download it, you essentially can record the video like I'm recording right now. In post-production, you click on the color grade button, which you're gonna see right now in the B-roll, and that's how I personally color grade my footage, and it looks super nice and super clean, and it's kind of a process that I like to do. I export it to CapCut, edit on CapCut, and finish the video, and that's that. But there are other ways and alternatives if that's not the way that you like to do it. And it also varies depending on like what editing software you use as well. So the other alternative is you can visit the official DJI website. Specifically look for the Action 5 Pro. There's going to be something called LUTs on the website. So you essentially download the files. You might have to get WinRAR in order to extract the files and stuff, and then once you do that, you apply it to whatever editing software you might be using, whether it's Premiere Pro, CapCut, or DaVinci. It'll probably work for everything. You put the LUTs into the program, and then you can choose between 4 options, I believe. One of them is going to look the most like the DJI Mimu app, and I'm going to show that on the screen now, but otherwise I think it's so much easier for me to just export from the Mimu app and then just export it into CapCut. That's kind of the process that's a lot simpler for me, and that's what I like to use. But to each their own, you can do however you please. But as long as the final product looks extremely nice, then all is good and all is well. I think I pretty much covered everything, but let's just talk about storage, because yes, do understand that you are shooting in 4K, 30 frames per second presumably, but you can choose that sort of on your own. But the thing and caveat with that is it does take up a lot of space, so be sure to have a very spacious SD card with the Costco bundle. I did have an SD card come with that, and I am using that, but the DJI Action 5 Pro does have internal storage, and that's amazing in itself. But yeah, if you feel like you need more space, definitely get yourself a larger SD card. And on top of that, this is just like outside of the Action 5 Pro, but if you are editing in post-production, I would recommend an external SSD. You can transfer the files over to it, edit with it, and it'll just make things way more smoother. Trust me, it'll be better that way. Alrighty, so last but not least, as you can see, I am connected with the DJI Mic Mini. I think it's the best. You don't even need a separate connector or transponder in order to be able to use it on the DJI Action 5 Pro. This is the best way to connect wirelessly with a mic with really good audio quality. I've mentioned this before in many videos, but I'll mention it one more time again. So essentially, you go to the settings, you go to wireless mic, two options, TX1, TX2. I only have one mic, so I use TX1. Click on TX1. On the B-roll right now, you'll see you click on, and then after you click on the top button that connects. Once you get connected, you are good to go and you are set. But make sure that you have the yellow light on, and that's going to be noise cancellation or noise reduction, and then that'll make your audio quality experience a lot better. With that being said, you're pretty much all set to make whatever video you please, a vlog, etc., and so on and so forth. So that's it for the video. I hope this helps a lot. I did have a lot of questions in regards to it, so I thought I'd make a video pretty much about it. So with that being said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Be on the lookout for the next video. Good things are coming your way, so see you soon.